Home and away spoilers. Cash arrested in 2025 season return. This week on Home and Away in Australia. As the show returns for 2025, Cash is arrested for Tim's attack, with only Eden believing he's innocent. Can he convince those around him that he wasn't to blame? All eyes are on Cash this week after Tim was left fighting for his life following a brutal attack. November's season finale had seen the pair come to blows, after Cash tracked down Tim and Eden to a remote island estate where Lyric had retreated for some rehearsal time. In his determination to stop Tim from seeing his ex-fiancée Eden, Cash had gone to the trouble of tracking down family, friends, and former clients of Tim's in the hope of digging up some dirt on him. He thought he finally had his chance when he came across Nerida Mullins, who had claimed that Tim had started a relationship with her whilst he was counseling her. He encouraged both Nerida and Eden's sister Abigail to make a formal complaint to Tim's bosses, leading to Tim's suspension. Whilst Abby's complaint came from a genuine grievance, the fact Tim had dropped her as a client in order to pursue a relationship with her sister, it soon became apparent to both Abby and Cash that Nerida wasn't telling the truth about her own experience with Tim. Alarm bells began to ring when Nerida spoke to Abby about how she and Tim were still in love with each other, before then talking about making him pay. Rereading Nerida's journal entries from a fresh perspective made Abby and Cash realize that Nerida was in fact constructing her own reality where Tim had fallen for her. However, when confronted, Nerida chillingly warned Cash that Tim's new partner Eden should watch her back. After spending weeks harassing Tim in his vendetta, Cash's concerns about Nerida were not taken seriously by Eden, nor by Cash's superior Rose. After finding the share house trashed, and Tim's car vandalized, Cash tried to get in touch with Eden but was ignored. Feeling he was out of options, Cash tracked the band down to the Koi Stone River estate in an attempt to warn them in person. Walking in the grounds, upset after coming to the realization that Eden was still in love with Cash, Tim bumped into Cash, who had just arrived on the island. As Remy watched from afar, ushering Eden inside before she saw them, he witnessed Cash and Tim beginning to argue, as Tim ordered Cash to leave and began to physically push him. We were left wondering what would happen next. The following morning, a groggy and confused Cash woke up in the grounds with his hands covered in blood. Spotting an unconscious Tim nearby, bleeding from a head wound, he tried to rouse him just as Justin arrived. "What the hell have you done?" Justin asked Cash as he came across the suspicious scene. This week, as everyone descends on the scene to try and help Tim, emotions are running high as all evidence points towards Cash, who desperately maintains his innocence in the light of Nerida's threats. As Tim's condition worsens, it's down to Bree to care for him, though will she be able to keep her cool whilst still being on leave following the whole Alf incident? When the emergency services finally descend, Detective Sergeant Mark Townsend arrives with them, and it appears to be an open and shut case as far as he is concerned. Cash is in a predicament, because the only evidence they really have is him, covered in blood, next to Tim, so it all points to him, Nicholas Cartwright told TV Week. He was angry, Eden admits to Townsend as she talks about Tim's movements prior to the attack, confirming that it was about her ex. "And who's that?" Townsend inquires, before Eden looks over towards Cash. The situation is dire, and because he has no recollection of what happened, he must place his trust in the police. And as much as he wants to trust the system, he's also prone to going rogue from time to time. Whilst a comatose Tim is rushed to hospital, Cash is taken for his own medical assessment, with Rose ordered by Townsend to question him. Rose knows all too well the unorthodox lengths that Cash had been going to in order to take down Tim, having to reprimand him on more than one occasion, so finds herself in an awkward situation as she wrestles with her loyalty towards her friend. Cash's attempts to clear his name only manage to make things worse, however, and it appears that it's a done deal when a witness comes forward to testify against him. Remy, with Remy telling Townsend and Rose what he saw the previous evening. It's enough for Townsend to issue a warrant for Cash's arrest, although Rose does her best to try and convince Townsend that Nerida should be looked into as a suspect. They soon find themselves heading to Saxon Avenue, where Cash is cuffed and bundled into the back of the police car as neighbors including Eden and John watch on. The big public arrest, where everyone can see him, is just more shame piled upon him. Nicholas continues, he knows how he looks to everyone. He knows he made mistakes and looks a bit chaotic. It's an embarrassment, but he has to keep going in order to keep Eden safe. As Cash is placed in the holding cell at Yabby Creek Police Station, a sympathetic Rose allows Eden to visit him briefly. Although deep down she already knows the answer, Eden has to ask Cash the question just to be sure. "Did you do this?" Cash replies with a heartfelt "I didn't do it," and Eden's suspicions are confirmed. Cash is innocent. The only problem will be proving it, and Cash is dealt a blow when his only ally on the force, Rose, is swiftly taken off the case after Townsend learns about Eden's visit to Cash, with Tim's grave condition meaning that Cash could be facing an attempted manslaughter charge. And with Remy still determined that Cash is guilty, will Eden be able to help clear Cash's name? Meanwhile, as a promo for upcoming episodes shows, it's made clear that Nerida has something to hide. When Abby asks if there's something that she wants to tell her, Nerida suggests that the pair could be each other's alibis. Nerida is then seen visiting Northern District's hospital with a bunch of flowers, as we see her enter the lift with a bunch of flowers, presumably en route to see Tim. She has a cold look on her face. Is Tim still in danger?
Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.